What's up guys, Max here, and here's the review that many of you have been looking forward to for some time. I've been talking about Smash Brothers, its netcode, its online play, my hopes, my dreams for, well, almost the past year now, and it's finally here, so let's discuss how Smash Brothers 4 on Wii U performs online. If you didn't happen to check the previous video talking about the netcode for these games, I discussed the 3DS version and how the netplay works. Shockingly, the netcode and online functionality for Smash 3DS is pretty damn good. All things considered, if you have a handheld console, most matches run fairly well except for those kind of 4-player matches which seem to have an issue, but I was really impressed and Nintendo did a really good job with Namco's help. But Smash 4 on the Wii U is a totally different thing. One of the more unique things about the Smash Brothers series is that this game kind of rides on local/human camaraderie. You kind of really enjoy these games when there's people around you, and that local 4-player experience is ideally the best way you can play Smash Brothers 4. However, the funny thing related to other games is that now as the internet progresses and communication changes a lot since the release of the older Smash Brothers games, especially Melee and Smash Brothers 64, you don't really talk to people as much in person as you would in real life now. So having the element of online camaraderie is super important, and all things considered, if you have a game that has the netcode of Smash Brawl, it's not going to work because no one's having any fun. So I feel that Smash 4's online being good is even more critical than ever before, because once again, if this game just plays terribly in one of these situations where the online is just very bad, you don't want to play that game with your friends and you're going to go back to playing Team Fortress 2, Destiny, World of Warcraft, or whatever the hell you usually do. Mario Kart 8 already did prove that there is some good that can be done with the Wii U and its online functionality, and that game still runs absolutely amazing online and is one of the better efforts Nintendo has had when it comes to that genre. But Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, I'll tell you guys right now, is extremely good. Good to the point of which I'm absolutely surprised, and I haven't felt this surprised by an online fighting game since Killer Instinct's release about a year ago now on the Xbox One. That game had superior netcode and perhaps one of the best online feeling fighting games I've ever played in consideration of its system and launch, and there could be so much wrong with it. There wasn't, and it ran really good minus some small issues, and Smash Bros. On Wii U is kind of in the exact same boat. Most matches that you'll play in Smash 4, whether or not it's with friends, whether or not it's for fun or glory, will feel mostly lagless, and there will be a very small amount of input delay between you executing attacks and your opponent. You might get a hitch here and there between the internet connectivity. One of the things you have to consider on the Wii U is that this game, or this system, naturally comes with Wi-Fi capabilities for its online, so not everyone has access to the Ethernet port adapter which plugs into one of your USB slots. I highly recommend you dudes go out and buy that thing. It is very cheap and it makes the internet connectivity a lot better. Wi-Fi internet for fighting games sucks, but it does work, which is kind of funny. Now, during this review process where I was playing the game online practically for the past couple of days, I wanted to get as many different connection varieties as possible, some of the biggest distances possible with local friends, as well as matches that are 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, free-for-all with 3 players, and free-for-all with 4 players. Kind of every situation. 8-Man Smash is not available online because it would not run well. Trust me, guys. You don't even want it. So in this situation, the 3DS version had a lot of problems with 4-player Smash Online and sometimes 3-player Smash. Only in very rare instances, like 1 out of every 10 games where I would play with friends, would the 4-player free-for-all actually run well on 3DS. And I'm really happy to say that about 6 out of 10 games on the Wii U run really good when it comes to free-for-all, which is pretty good odds. The reason that's good odds is that you're taking 4 separate connections, and you're betting that all 4 of those connections are decent, and it's not someone's totally jank, middle-of-nowhere internet that's still running on 56K. There is a chance that you are going to run into some bad games. Like I said, there's those 4 out of 10 that will be pretty jank because you're increasing the odds every single time you add a player. But it's really good a lot of the time, and sometimes you need to just wait. If this match is bad, just back out and go to the next one. There's a very good chance the next match you'll play runs almost flawlessly, and it's amazing. I can't even understand how that actually works. The other way is through the 1 versus 1 system, and in that situation, it's very hard to find a game that has a lot of lag, but of course you're going to find it. Smash Bros. 4 and with fighting game netcode cannot improve your shitty internet. That is one thing that has remained consistent throughout every single fighting game. What it does, and what good netcode does, is that it takes the distance between players and makes that feel like it's not an issue, because with most fighting game netcodes, distance, even if you have a good connection, could end up ruining the experience. And even with Smash Bros. 4, I played people from Texas, I'm on the west coast of Southern California, as well as Hawaii, as well as the East Coast in single-player matches, as well as free-for-all 4-player matches, and dudes, it ran really good. So almost to the point of which I thought this stuff was completely local. So all I'll tell you right now is that Smash Bros. 4 is the real deal when it comes to online fighting games, and especially for an experience that has grassroots in local camaraderie with actual humans in front of you, you feel like you can actually experience that with people that live across an entire nation, which is absolutely fantastic, and it kind of epitomizes what Nintendo's all about kind of like bringing people together through these semi-casual, which can be very hardcore games, like Super Smash Bros. 4 and Mario Kart. All I can say is the dudes at Nintendo, as well as Namco, the guys that developed the game, they hit a home run, and Namco's already proved themselves that they can actually do really good with fighting game online and netcode, because they did a great job with Tekken Tag Tournament 2 and Soul Calibur 5. The biggest issue I have with Smash Bros. 4, maybe outside of the netcode, maybe it's a general design thing, is that your profile never gets saved for your custom controls, and it doesn't default the custom controls for a player 1. So every time you get into a new match, you have to remember to select your profile, or else your buttons are going to be the default button scheme, which I generally don't use at all. So that's my biggest gripe, and I really wish they will do something about that. As always, dudes, thank you a ton for watching. If I was able to give Smash Bros. 4 a review in total in terms of its netcode, it'd probably be a 9 out of 10. They did a great job, and you should be playing it right now. My name is Maximilian, and I'll see you guys next time.